You know, Quarters A is just one of many houses in the United States inventory, old houses, historic houses. We've lived in a few of those where we've seen weird things happen, but I think Quarters A is probably, you know, the single residence in the inventory, not just here, but throughout the United States, where you have a bunch of stories from different people who lived in the house. So if you're a doubter, you need to believe. Rear Admiral Mike White, you know, told us when, you know, we were first kind of touring around about this one location in the house, and that location was on the second floor, just outside the master bedroom. And you know, he told us that when they first moved into the house, he had a Navy recruiting poster. It was you know, kind of a 10 by 17 on tin, printed on tin, and it would never stay up. He would hang it up in the morning, he would go to work, and he would come home, and it'd be, you know, it would have fallen off on the ground. And the walls there are pretty sturdy, you know, takes a nail, so you know, you just couldn't explain what happened. Well, as soon as we moved into the house, you know, that was one of the places when, you know, we hung our pictures. My wife actually put a hand-stitched, framed kind of picture of the Lord's Prayer on it, and we never had a problem with that spot as far as pictures falling off, and we attribute that to the fact that it was the Lord's Prayer, not a Navy recruiting poster. But our dogs would go crazy underneath that spot. We have 2 yellow labs, and they would literally dig on the carpet to the point where, you know, when you took somebody on a tour of the house or somebody else, the carpet was thin and you could see where the dogs dug, trying to get after something that they didn't like. The urban legends at the time was mosquitoes, which were the carriers. They couldn't fly above 12 or 14 feet. So the higher you were, the better chance you had. If you had a tall wall, and that explains, you know, kind of the old walls on base here around both the old hospital and around where the naval, where the shipyard used to be, they would build these walls. And Woolsey was, you know, very much attuned to that, and you know, he decided that he was going to take his residence up on what would be considered the 4th floor, so a cupola up on the 4th floor of Quarters A, and he would take all his meals up there, and he would, you know, go to work. He would come home, go up to the 4th floor, and his steward team would bring him a bottle of hard spirits, and they would bring him his meal, because the hard spirits would help ward away those mosquitoes. Well, as the legend goes, there was a period where there were no spirits available, and shortly thereafter, because he didn't get those, Woolsey passed away from what we think is yellow fever. And you know, to this day, many residents who have lived in the house, you know, have really weird stories about, you know, somebody who's occupied the house when they were there. You know, stories of, you know, noises that they couldn't explain, stories of cigar smoke. The Commodore was a cigar smoker. And so as a result of that, each one of the residents, you know, we typically leave an old cigar up there and a bottle of your favorite spirits, just to keep the Commodore happy and keep the stories to a minimum.
We are here at the base of the steps. As you can see, they still have Admiral Woolsey's whiskey and cigar. It has never been moved, not even from one step to the next. So now we're going to head up and we're going to get Josh up there to see if we can get any sort of activity.
I don't know. It's dark up there. These steps are really steep. I watch my head. Oh man. Oh, it's pitch black up here. The door is a landing. That's not creepy at all. So basically there's just a landing up here, and this door goes out to the roof. But I mean, there's a fan up here, the AC. It got like really chilly.
Although we didn't see any activity today, there are definitely some spooky stories we've heard about this house. Even the workers now helping with the construction on the house have said that they've heard some bumps in the night. So if you have any stories about this house, or if you've heard any, comment down below and follow us on our next paranormal pursuit.